If you've ever been frustrated at the difficulty of getting an organizational view of who does what, then watch this video. I'm currently doing some work with a startup based here in Australia called Functionally. Now, they make a tool that helps senior leaders with organizational design. It's less org chart and more function, accountability, and resourcing chart. Basically, it helps you understand who does what and how you might be able to improve the way your org gets stuff done. Now, I really like what they're doing, and in fact, have found their tool really useful in terms of some of the work that I do with helping startups grow and scale. I wanted to quickly show you this as it's a real practical example of how their tool is useful. And for me, it's really replaced doing this in a combination of messy, convoluted spreadsheets and PowerPoint slides. So let's take a look at this example organization I've built here. I'm calling it SaaS Fit. It's the latest SaaS company to hit the market. Now, they're a successful SaaS company, about 50 staff, and they're growing rapidly. And this is their current org structure. Now, this is a very typical structure. I'd call it a functional structure where the company is organized by similar jobs. Very typical when a company does one thing. Other typical structures are product divisions, geographic structures, customer structures. So let's say I'm the CEO of FitSaaS and I'm thinking about our next horizon, which is expanding our offerings and perhaps even our market geography. It turns out our professional services team here is just kicking goals, and we're actually going to double down on services as a revenue stream. We're going to implement health and well-being projects in big corporations. But also our smart product and engineering folks over here have come up with a device concept, kind of an Internet of Things type fitness device, which we think will drive people to our cloud subscription tool. And we want to bring this to market worldwide. So I want to build a version of the org that will support this. So let's start by duplicating this org structure and call it SaaSFit Future, so we can start tinkering with a new structure. So I look at my org, and the first thing I want to do is really protect my online SaaS business because it's thriving and there's no problem with it. We're really well optimized, and I don't want to lose their focus or break that optimization by distracting all these existing sales and marketing and product teams with these new product lines. So I really want to move from that traditional functional structure to probably more of a product division structure. Let's create an online division and move all the things that are really working well together under that business. Okay, then we might create a services division, and we can slot pro services under there, and the devices division, let's create that. And under there, we might need manufacturing, R&D teams. Anyway, you get the point, and you can see how easily that I'm building the structure here. Now, it obviously needs some more finessing, so here's the completed org that I prepared earlier. Now, here you can see our whole online division is sitting here separated and protected from the distraction of all those new products and services that we want to take to market. Then we have our services and consulting with a number of sub-teams here in that operation. And finally, our new devices and Internet of Things division over here, where we have sub-teams including international expansion in APAC and EMEA. Now, we still have some shared functional teams here in corporate marketing, people and culture, finance, and customer success. Actually, it doesn't make any sense having customer success there. So let me drag it and drop it. It should be within our online division where we need to manage subscription life cycles. And that's how easy it is to just drag elements of the org around here to restructure it. Now, another element I love of Functionally, especially when you start having a geographic element to your org structure, is this concept of template teams. So often in a geographic org structure, you have teams in each geo that essentially do the same thing, like a marketing team, for example. So let's drag our template marketing team in both these regions. And you see they'll already be configured with the relevant functions and accountabilities, which are identical because they came from that template and because we want the teams to operate the same way, but in their own unique geos. Now, just quickly, we see some other smart things happening here in the function library over here on the left. This little overlap sign indicates that we have accountabilities overlapping in more than one team. which can be just fine, but is worth checking that you've done it on purpose. So if we hover over here, it'll tell us that our brand marketing is an accountability in these 3 different teams. Now, here's the thing. I don't want brand marketing done in any of these divisional marketing teams. I really want it owned by our corporate marketing team. So I can come into these teams and remove that accountability from their marketing function. Let's drag it into the bin. And now we've done that to all 3 teams. You see it has a little red dot here now indicating that that accountability is in fact missing entirely from my organization. So now let me drag it across to corporate marketing, and there we are. It's allocated again. Now, with my CEO org design hat on, I can kind of sit back now and look at this entire org and think about where I want decisions to be made, where there might be walls or silos. And just looking here, I see an obvious one. I have all the people and culture functions owned here in the people and culture team, which isn't aligned to any of my divisions. Now, I know the divisional heads are going to want some power across how things like recruitment, onboarding, and so on are done within their divisions. So let's create a HR business partner team and give them the accountabilities that make sense to own within their specific division. We can go into that specific team now, and you see these accountabilities with red dots indicating they aren't actually assigned to any role within the team. So let's create a role. So we go to the jobs picker here. Again, there's a whole library of predefined roles here to choose from. In this case, let's add a new role and call it the HR business partner. And now we can add these accountabilities to that role. If you want to get even more granular, you can go in here and we can assign those specific responsibilities within each accountability. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show functionally. I think it's a great tool if you're looking to restructure your organization, if you're a consultant, if you're helping companies grow. Check it out. I'm finding it really useful.